was kind of reminiscent of what we used to do together, and you know, it was just kept catching my attention. This chassis up here, which is Voodoo Chili, which was Larry's bike before Grease Monkey, and it just kind of reminded me of those days, you know. Grease Monkey is literally the same bike except for the frame and gas tank as this is. He was building that in the shop, actually on this frame table, because he made this frame table years and years ago and built that bike on it. You know, last year I just kind of went crazy. I really pulled out all the stops. I did a lot of things that I'd been wanting to do for a long time. I did on that project, and you know, I'm super proud of that. But I really kind of wanted to bounce back off of that and go full circle and just kind of clean the whole concept up a little bit. The geometry of the frame ends up sort of setting off the way the whole bike looks, is the frame geometry. It's got to feel right. You know, you glance at a bike and it can have all the different components that are unique unto themselves or maybe incredibly special, but if the overall geometry doesn't feel right when you glance at it, then all the rest of it's kind of lost. The geometry that I was going for was, you know, that nice sort of clean, straight backbone down to the axle, but I didn't want to raise the neck and put too much air underneath the backbone over top of the engine. I wanted to keep everything kind of compact. I took a little bit out of the seat post and lowered this section over the back head. Front end that I'm using is this late model Springer. The newer ones are just a little bit boxier, a little bit wider, not quite as soft, not quite as sexy as the early ones. My plan for it is to still probably narrow it about a half inch on each side, just to bring it back into the width of stock early Springer. And then I'm going to cut 2 inches out of the bottom of the legs to match my neck height. And the front wheel is another sun rim with a little spun spool hub and stainless spokes. Scorpions. I've run dual sports on choppers for probably 12-15 years, going back to some of the earlier Gripster tires from Avon and some of those. The engine for the Born Free bike is a 1946 knuckle, and what I'm going to do with it is the heads and cylinders are going to get nickel plated. Right, so here's the heads, cylinders are here, and there I got to send these out for nickel probably tomorrow. So these will all be nickel plated, and the cases are already polished and prepped. And really, I just want to build a nice solid 74, a nice 74 cubic inch engine. It's reliable and fun, and nothing too crazy or out of control. This is the one that I'm going to use here, which was still raw aluminum that I've already had polished and is ready to be built for the bike. And the cool thing about these Little John transmissions is that it's a 5-speed before Harley was doing 5 speeds, because these are from the, say, mid to late 70s, and they were just a small run that this guy did out of Colorado, I believe. And the 5-speed in these is an overdrive, so it's like an early 4-speed style box, but the 5th gear is an overdrive as opposed to the Harley 5 speeds, which was basically a close ratio extra gear between like 2nd and 3rd, but top gear was still the same as a 4. I usually go kind of dark and rich colors. I think I'm going to go a little, kind of have some fun with this one. I think I'm a little on the fence, kind of between pink, teal, and purple. It just felt really good and pure to kind of step back a little bit to that time, and again, as the years go by and new ideas come about, new things that you want to incorporate into bikes, and things that customers want, and things that you try to do for events, and that's kind of where my head was at last year with this project. Was, let's see, how crazy can I get, and all these things that I wanted to experiment with and all that. And that's great, but I kind of wanted to step back to what it felt like before that, come with a more simpler approach. So it feels good. It feels good.